Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to Living the Life. We will be introducing our next guest in just a moment. But first, we have another story, that's right. And this time we are in Australia, where bugs are taking centre plate at restaurants all over the country. I'm intrigued by this, so we must take a look.
Australians love food. Whether an exotic twist on traditional fare or an untested flavour, they are not afraid to experiment. But there's an unfamiliar cuisine crawling onto menus down under, challenging the bravest of diners: bugs. At upmarket restaurants like this one in Sydney, a twist of lime and a dash of salt has these crickets flying out of the kitchen.
When the customer when they come first time, they're very much like wants to know what it is. They come to the past, they're asking for it. Yeah, it's very famous here.
High in protein and cheaper and more sustainable than traditional food like beef, more than 2 billion people worldwide eat bugs. They are common in diets across parts of Asia, Latin America and Africa. And it's catching on here.
Normally you get two different kinds of people when it comes to eating insects. So the first kind of people are completely grossed out and you really can't change their mind. They just kind of want to come and have a look and don't want to try it really. But then we get the second kind of people that really want to learn more, and some of them will try edible insects and some of them won't, but they'll go away and talk about eating insects and they'll spread the word about what they've seen that day.
Sky, an entomologist, runs the only commercial insect farm in Australia, producing a wide range of delicacies, from savoury crickets to dehydrated ants and even roasted cockroaches. Insects remain a hard sell, but bug by bug, that could be starting to change.
So I'm going to go a big gob. That's great. I love them. I love bugs. Sometimes when you move the packet, it looks like they're alive.
While the unique treat is proving popular at farmers markets and trendy eateries, it may be some time yet before bugs are a regular feature on Aussie dinner tables.
Wow. I mean, I think I'm more bugged out from watching that as opposed to, falling in love with the bugs. But anyway, that was just my pun. I'll leave that to myself. Anyway, well now, inshallah, that aside, we will welcome our next guest, subhanAllah. Alif Ba is a smartphone app that was designed to educate the younger generation about Islam using fun, colourful games to teach different aspects, of course, such as Arabic alphabet. The app is, of course, available globally, and the team behind it continue to make it easy and fun for all children to enjoy, and hopefully for adults like me too. Here to tell us more and all about it, inshallah, is no other than Javed Hussain. Assalamu alaikum, Javed bhai. How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
Good.
Yes.
I'm really excited by this app because honestly, from someone who likes using a mobile phone, someone who likes using apps, I'm intrigued. What is Alif Ba?
Okay, so Alif Ba is essentially Apple-based application which enables young children to learn the Arabic alphabet through a series of games. So currently there's 4 games in there: identification, flashcards, sequencing, and there's also a handwriting game in there, which is my favourite.
It's quite extensive, subhanAllah. I mean, there's a lot of content in one app.
Yes, for now there is, and we're hoping to kind of evolve that in the future as well.
Inshallah, it sounds good. Now, of course, many people watching at home must be thinking, well, this sounds really cool, but what was the inspiration? I mean, do you have children of your own, or nieces and nephews, or you just want to do some kind of dawah, or try to bring Islam, accessible to young children, or what was it? Okay,
so I've always wanted to have an enterprise of my own, but the real reason behind Alif Ba was actually providing something back to the community, really inspiring and encouraging young children to learn about their religion, and I think this can be done with harnessing EdTech and gamification, and that's what we've exactly done with Alif Ba.
EdTech, you say? Oh my goodness me! Honestly, the last time I heard EdTech, I had to take a step back and think, what is that? It's educational-based technology, is it?
Yes, right.
Okay, phew. Alhamdulillah, I got it right. I just made a fool out of myself for everyone, which is obviously normal for me. But anyway, that being put to the side. What has been the feedback, subhanAllah? I mean, have people enjoyed using it? Are there many users at the moment?
Yeah, so the feedback's been great. I don't think we've had anything which has been negative. It's always been positive and encouraging. Currently, there's around 1,600 users globally on that.
1,600?
Yep.
Wow. And how long has the app been running?
The app's been out approximately just over 12 months.
Is that it?
Yeah. So
Wow.
We are expanding. The user base is actually increasing on a daily basis.
You know, and I remember asking you in the green room earlier, is it just for children, or can you know, young adults, so to speak, like myself, or even mature adults, can they use it too?
Absolutely. Interestingly enough, we've had quite a bit of feedback from parents who are there playing with that with their children, but they get attached to it, so they're actually snatching the phone off their child and actually starting to play with the app. My favourite feature, which is the handwriting app, is the one that attracts the parents because they can kind of get their tablet or phone and start drawing things and whatever else.
Yeah, so it's a handwriting practice for Arabic, and and so they can write sentences and words and.
At the moment, you can write letters.
Okay, just the alphabet itself.
That's right.
Still, I mean, that's a struggle in itself, right?
Yeah, it can be. Yeah, absolutely.
SubhanAllah, I mean, I'm certain I would definitely struggle with it. I know what I'm going to be downloading tonight. It's definitely going to be that app, because I feel like this is something which, as I mentioned earlier, with adults, young adults, mature adults, people watching at home, everyone, I'm sure they prefer colourful apps as opposed to boring, dull, you know, here's a book, read it and educate yourself from it.
Absolutely, yeah, and I think that's what we've really focused on with this product. We wanted to make sure that the app uses really vivid colours and has a really rich feel, and that's what we've done exactly with Alif Ba.
Now, you mentioned the games.
Yep.
Are you looking to develop the app further, introducing maybe new games into it, or further develop an existing game?
Absolutely, so we are looking to kind of evolve the games. Ideally, we want to kind of evolve that to a point where children can actually use it to read. So right now it is in its infancy, because we've only kind of introducing the alphabets, but essentially if you're going to a reading exercise, then that's got a lot of work behind it that needs to be done. Additionally, we're also looking to kind of branch out to the Android market as well.
Right.
So hopefully that should be exciting as well.
So at the moment it's only available on iPhone,
yeah, that's
in the App Store,
yeah.
But inshallah, like you mentioned, you're going to be branching out inshallah to Android.
Inshallah.
I'm not much of an Android fan, to be honest with you, but so you know, it doesn't really bother me. I'm going to download it, it's fine. But that being said, look, many young individuals out there, entrepreneurs like yourself, or budding entrepreneurs, people who want to aspire to be somewhat like yourself, and what advice would you have for those individuals?
Okay.
Well, actually, let me twist it. What advice did you get?
What advice did I get? Well, I had a lot of good mentors around me that supported me in my professional career. The one thing that they did say to me was persevere, persevere, and persevere. So essentially, when it came to Alif Ba, that's what I did. A lot of research and a lot of work to kind of get it to where it is at the moment.
Well, with that being said, subhanAllah, so you're saying perseverance is obviously key, something which was pushed to you by your mentors. What advice would you have for others?
I'd say
same?
Yeah, exactly the same thing, yeah.
SubhanAllah. Well, you know, to be honest, I think perseverance is a very good bit of advice, and I know it can be quite difficult in the business world. But with that being said, you know, I think one thing I've not really asked you, which I'm actually intrigued by, Alif Ba, as in, it's really a cool, quirky name. I mean, was it just so obvious that you think, yeah, that's what I'm going to call it, or did it require a bit more brainstorming?
Well, actually, so when I started this exercise, I did a lot of brainstorming, and we had a lot of ideas in terms of what we could name the app. But one of the examples was Hurufs, but it was too boring. I wanted something quirky, something energetic, something which would kind of engage with the kids, and that's where. And we thought Alif Ba, why not? Simple, but it's effective. No,
I think it's very true. It's definitely simple. It's definitely effective, inshallah. I think something which you'll remember instantaneously. You know, I mean, Huruf, I would have struggled with that. So thank you for not doing that. For my benefit, even then. SubhanAllah, bro. You know, it's incredible to meet inspirational people like yourself. But ultimately, the app is the most important thing. So if I was sitting at home right now, watching Living the Life, this awesome show, where would I go?
So your first point of call would be the actual App Store, which is on Apple. And if you just type in the words Alif Ba, you should see it there. You can't miss it. Additionally, we've also got the website, which directs you to the App Store, and that's alifba.co.uk.
alifba.co.uk.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Listen, Javed, you're not going anywhere. Okay, I'm sorry. You're going to be trapped in that sofa, okay, because we're going to continue with the show, inshallah. But before we do, we're going to have to go to a quick break, inshallah. So make sure you don't move anywhere. But of course, as I mentioned, we don't just go to a break, we go with a story, subhanAllah, and make sure you don't go anywhere because we have some incredible guests, of course, who will be, well, actually speaking about even the incredible tools that they've created for children to nurture their development, inshallah. But like I said, we have a story. We don't just have a break, we have a story. And this one comes from Brazil, where one artist has painted a mural supporting the workers in the cacao. Is it cacao or cocoa industry? Could be either of the two. The mural is huge and can be seen by drivers on the highway, subhanAllah. So let's have a look at this.
Many painters struggle to get their work viewed, but Brazilian street artist Eduardo Cobra won't have that problem. His most recent work claims to be the biggest in the world. Prolific Cobra takes as his canvas the size of the cacao show factory on one of the main highways in Sao Paulo, and not just one side, but wrapping round the corners. Still not quite finished, it shows the top half of an indigenous tribesman in a multicoloured collage as he paddles through a great brown river of chocolate. The work connects the chocolate products inside the building to the traditions of the far-off Amazon cacao farmers.
This mural aims to show this side of the workers a bit and pay tribute to all these workers in the cocoa industry.
Cobra already held the Guinness World Record for the biggest spray paint mural in Rio de Janeiro, and he says this one, at 5,700 square metres, is even bigger. Art's a little different when the large building is your sketchbook. Cobra said he started off with as many as 10 different designs for the mural, all of them based on scenes from Amazon's cacao-rich regions.
I think it will make an impression. I've received unbelievable feedback. Many people passing by, taking pictures, videos. They posted on social media, which is a big communication medium these days. So we're very happy because we did something to give as a present to the public, and the response has been wonderful.
When she chose, he needed cranes to lift 12 platforms for his painting team who have joined him from 8 AM to 6 PM over 2 months, with about 2 weeks left to go. Never mind brushes, palette and a box of paints, they got through 4,000 spray cans and 300 gallons of enamel paint.
Coming up after the break, migrants from the Calais jungle camp are experiencing life as a student in Lille, France, by enrolling in language courses and aiming to achieve a degree to pave the way for a new life and career. Stay tuned to find out more.